Hey everybody, it's Lissa and I'm here with another discussion video. I was actually reading a book a couple of weeks ago, and that book was Chocolat by Joanne, if you don't remember what I was reading a few weeks ago. And about 2/3 of the way through the book, I realized that I actually thought that it was a good feminist novel. Now, y'all know I'm reluctant to even talk about this because you know how I feel about the F word. And it's not that I'm one of those people that feels like, she doesn't need feminism, or feminists are evil bra burning witches, or feminist is too harsh of a word to describe my temperament. No, that's not it at all, because none of those are really good reasons to not identify yourself as a feminist. We're not here to talk about my personal views on feminism because that could go forever and a lot of you would probably get mad at me. And I just generally don't enjoy talking about it, so we're not going to. So we're going to go back to the topic now. This is exactly how this video came to be. I'm reading the book, sitting on my bed, minding my own business, marking down my quotes because, oh my gosh, that book is so quotable. I'm about 2/3 of the way through, as I've said a second ago, and I don't even remember exactly what was happening in the book. But all of a sudden, in my brain, completely unbidden, the thought comes to me, this is a really good feminist piece. There are a lot of reasons why you could probably call this book a good feminist novel. Some of them I feel are a little superficial. Like, I really don't care that the main character is a sexually active, single, unmarried woman with a child out of wedlock who has no idea who her baby daddy is. Like, I don't care. That's not really what I'm concerned about. I'm sure that figures into some people's, definitions of what it means to make this a good feminist novel. It's just not part of what I think makes it a good feminist novel. What I'm concerned about with this book, as far as feminism goes, is that it's a book about women and the way it represents the women that the book is about. The book is split into two perspectives. One is a woman's perspective, so clearly, hey, women. The other one is a male perspective. It's the perspective of the priest, Père Renaud, who kind of runs the town that Vianne, the main character, lives in or comes to live in. And I'm pretty sure that 90% of his thoughts turn back around and center on women. Not centers on women in a strictly sexual way, but centers on women, really not in a sexual way at all, centers on them in a predatory way, but in a manipulative predatory way. He uses them, just like he uses everyone else in the town, to keep his hold on the town. The other thing about this book is that it explores different types of women. There's Anouk, who is the 6-year-old daughter of the main character, who is very lonely because she has to move around a lot. And what 6-year-old little girl wants to move around all the time and have no friends? So she's come up with her own ways to have fun. She's come up with her own imaginary friends to keep her company and to combat her own loneliness. There's Armand, the old lady that talks crap about her dead husband and has a trust fund set up for her grandson, lives on the outskirts of town on the fringes of society, and orders sassy red panties from Paris, okay, and she's 70 years old. Then there's Caroline, who is Armand's daughter, who is basically running from her past and where she came from because they did not grow up with a lot of money, and she's trying so hard to be perceived as this upper middle class, classy woman that it's making her family really seem abnormal because she's so strict and so hard on her son that it makes him stutter, and her husband undermines her all the time and goes around apologizing for her behind her back. There's also Josephine Muscat, who steals. Josephine lies. Josephine is trapped in an abusive marriage. Josephine has no self-esteem and she has no skills, so to speak of, to be able to leave her husband. Those are 4 women that I just talked about with completely different stories, completely different personalities, completely different characters, and none of them are even the main character. Like, I haven't even talked about Vianne yet. And that's what I love about this book. It's about women, and it's about all types of women. There's no specific woman that's pointed out as being worse or better than anyone else. You have Caroline, who is like this perfect Stepford wife, supposedly, at least from the outside looking in, but no one's really pressed to become exactly like Caroline. There's no blame from the author passed on to the reader saying, Josephine is bad because she steals and doesn't wear Hermes scarves like Caroline. Armand is bad because she doesn't go to the doctor like Caroline. There's a group of Stepford wives in the town, sure, and there's plenty of judgment within the town's people about all the women in the town, but there's no real blame shift saying that one character or one woman character is better than another woman character because she possesses all these Stepford wife-like traits. And then you have Vianne, who is the main character, who's basically set up this tiny Amazon colony in the middle, smack dab in the middle of town, right across from the church, which is basically the command center of the evil Père Renaud, because seriously, Père Renaud's evil. Satan is in that man. Satan. This is a side note that may seem unrelated, but that is totally related. You'll get it in a second. But I pledged in college. I'm actually a sorority girl. I like my blue next to my white, my pearls in groups of 5. If you know what that means, excellent. If you don't, Google it. But what my sorority does is, apart from focusing on children and childhood diseases, we focus really heavily on women and young girls. Specifically, we focus on building women and young girls up at every phase in their lives. We have auxiliary groups for little girls as young as 6 years old. We have auxiliary group for women who could not join the sorority because they did not go to college or were not fortunate enough to be able to either go matriculate in the first place or finish out their 4-year degree. We have all types of outings for girls in their middle school years and for their high school years that, you know, take them on college. We take them on college visits. We talk to them about what they want to do. We do career coaching. We help you out if you have a baby and you can't afford to get them Pampers and formula. Like, we uphold women without judgment. It's the entire point of basically everything we do, and that's what I feel like happens a lot in this book. A big portion of being considered a good feminist novel to me is not just showing different types of women, but showing other women, empowering other women. And that's what Vianne does by setting up her chocolate shop in the middle of town. Not only does she empower herself by becoming a business owner in a town where all the businesses are run by men, not only does she do that and empower herself, but she empowers Armand by helping her to live her life the way she wants to, not the way that Caroline is trying to dictate she lives her life, even though, okay, admittedly, she does that not knowing all the information, and that was probably really bad, but she was trying to help, and that's really all that matters. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. She empowers her daughter by saying, you know, okay, I don't know who your dad is, and we don't really have a man living in the house with us, but that's okay because we have us and we can make it like this. She also empowers Josephine at the end of the day by not only inspiring Josephine to leave her husband, but by also giving her a place to go after she does leave. And then not only does she provide her with a place to stay after she leaves her husband, but she takes her in and trains her in making chocolate and effectively gives her a trade. And even though Josephine doesn't stick with making chocolate, you'll see what she does instead if you read the book or go watch the movie. The fact that Vianne was there to support her and give her that kind of bolster of confidence and that I believe you can do this and we're going to start you on the right way, it helps her in the end become the Josephine that Josephine always could have been. Basically, for me, this whole thing is about empowerment. Like, empowerment is key. You guys let me know what makes a good feminist novel for you down in the box below. If you've ever thought about it, if you've never thought about it, I don't know your thoughts, but I would like to. In the meantime, there is a link down in the box below to not only this book on Goodreads, but to my review on Book-Monger and to all my other social media accounts. You guys hit that subscribe button if you want to, hit that like button if you want to. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do, but I'm going to keep talking whether or not you subscribe or not, so you might as well be here for it. Until next time, bye!